Hi, and welcome to Tasty Tuesday. Did you know that North Carolina is the #1 sweet potato producer in the country? Well, we are, and we thought we would talk to you today about sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes is a very versatile root vegetable. It comes in different sizes and colors, and most of us are used to an orange sweet potato, but they also come in purple and white. Sweet potatoes are very nutritious. They have lots of fiber. They're very high in vitamin A and vitamin C, as well as calcium. Orange and purple variety of sweet potatoes are very rich in antioxidants. And one thing about sweet potatoes, they're cheap. So there's something that you can have in your pantry that you can serve really anytime with your family and save some money. Today's recipe, we're going to be making brown sugar pecan roasted sweet potatoes. And this recipe calls for 2 sweet potatoes, very large sweet potatoes. We have 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. You can have 4 or 5 tablespoons of melted butter and then a half a cup of chopped pecans. So what we've done is we've washed our sweet potatoes, we've rinsed them off, we peeled them, and we cut them into about 1 to 2 inch cubes. So the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to add our brown sugar, our melted butter, as well as our pecans. And then we're going to mix this all together until everything's mixed well and coated. And this recipe has to be baked in a 350-degree oven for about 40 minutes or until your potatoes are tender. Now, for my pan, the recipe didn't tell me to cover my pan, but I did cover it with foil. It just makes it simple cleanup when it comes time to clean my dishes, so I can get in and out of the kitchen quickly. So I'm just going to mix these all together. And this would be a good recipe, I mean, not just for Thanksgiving, anytime, but it's so simple. You could whip this up at Thanksgiving. Because if you're like me, you have several dishes in the oven at one time. And this would be something that would be very simple to manage. So now we're going to place our sweet potatoes on our baking sheet, and we want to be sure that it's a single layer. We don't want to have our potatoes on top of one another. I want to make sure we get all our goodie out of there. And we're just going to spread this out. Making sure nothing's on top of each other. And then we're just going to place it in the oven and bake it for about 40 minutes.
So it's been about 40 minutes and it looks like our potatoes are done. One of the things that I typically do just to check to see if it's done is I just kind of poke it with a knife and see if it goes in easily, and if it does, then we know that our potatoes are soft and they are done. So this is one of those times where I really wish you had the ability to smell some of the things that we're making in the kitchen, because this is one that smells absolutely delicious. This is one of the very few potato recipes that I can actually get my oldest child to eat. She is one of the rare children that doesn't like potatoes, but when I prepare sweet potatoes this way, this is one that she actually really enjoys, which makes me happy because, as Candy mentioned earlier, our sweet potatoes have a good variety of nutrients, nutrients that oftentimes our children aren't getting enough of, so that makes me very excited. As we mentioned earlier, this is a very simple 4-ingredient recipe, a great recipe to have on hand, and we hope that you will make this in the coming months as we enter into fall. And join us again next month for another episode of Tasty Tuesday.